The boxing world was rocked by a bombshell leak just days before Claressa Shields entered what was supposed to be the biggest fight of her career. No, it's not just some online rumors whispered on Reddit threads. We're talking about alleged reports, suspicious footage, and a very nervous-looking Papoose caught on camera doing things. What if I told you that the unbeaten queen of the ring, the self-proclaimed G-Wet, might not be as clean as her record suggests? That have fans yelling, "Cover up!" How did Papoose pass every drug test? Who knew what, when, and why was she suddenly so involved in her preparation phase with Monel? This isn't your typical sports controversy. It's messy and shady, and it may be the beginning of the end for Claressa's impeccable legacy. Let's examine the substances, the secrets, and the suspicious silence, because the truth has already laced up its gloves. Ladies and gentlemen, boxing. Fans, drama detectives, shade lovers, and drama detectives. Welcome to the match before the match, because, forget pay-per-view, Claressa Shields, the so-called greatest woman of all time, has made a name for herself through hard work, unmatched stamina, and the kind of training montages that make Rocky look like a toddler in mittens. However, fans are now wondering if there was something extra in her water bottle, or more specifically, in her bloodstream. Let's go back a week, when Claressa was glowing on social media, showcasing heavy bag workouts, rapid shadowboxing, and even some dazzling sparring sessions. Then came the video, a mysterious grainy hallway clip purportedly taken just days before. Her fight prep peaked. It shows a private room with a zipped duffel bag and a suspicious-looking figure walking out, wiping his hands with a towel and mumbling into his phone. "We're good. She's ready." And then, all of a sudden, the internet went into full conspiracy mode because, guess what? Fans noticed that same duffel bag later spotted ringside during her open workout. And, to make matters worse, a blurry screenshot appeared that appears to be a small vial labeled only with a date and a red sticker. Handled just before one of her training sessions? We're not claiming that anything is confirmed yet. But you know how this works. One unverified clip becomes a digital wildfire. And Twitter threads begin to piece it together faster than Claressa's left hook. Reddit boxing forums melt down, and YouTubers start analyzing every second of the leaked hallway tape as if it were the Zapruder movie. This is where it gets really juicy, though, because fans aren't just wondering about the content. They're asking about the man who transitioned from a devoted husband to a viral internet mystery to Claressa's corner companion. Why does Papoose suddenly hold pads in her camp? And more importantly, why does he look so uncomfortable in every video since? The leak. According to an anonymous former sparring partner, the atmosphere in Claressa's camp changed around the time Papoose joined. It stopped being about cardio and clean meals, and instead became about late-night workouts that were conducted behind closed doors and that we were no longer permitted to film. It got weird and suspicious. Another leaked direct message purportedly from a staffer shows this message: "Don't post that video, bro. She needs to keep the edge." Let's quickly review what that even means. 2 days prior to the leak, Papoose shared a black and white photo of himself and Claressa on Instagram with the caption, "Sometimes silence is power. What are you trying to hide, sir?" This isn't the first time Papoose got messy. The viral video shows Claressa receiving a mystery substance, and it shows him with the bag before and after the alleged moment Team Shield abruptly banned phones and media access in the gym. Claressa's speed and aggression noticeably increased in her last sparring rounds. When it comes to secrets, keep in mind the entire Remy Ma Bet Award situation, the viral split, the alleged cheating allegations captured on tape, and the alleged burner phone he used to stay in touch with Claressa while still legally married. Papoose may have rapped about loyalty, but his timeline appears to be a maze of poor choices and worse cover-ups. And now the boxing world is more than ever side-eyeing him and Claressa, because if even a small portion of these accusations are true, this isn't just a scandal. It's a legacy destroyer, and the timing couldn't be worse, with Claressa just days away from the biggest fight of her career in any case. This leak has completely turned everything upside down. Sponsors are reportedly asking questions. The media is circling, and fans who once referred to her as untouchable are now wondering if she ever fought fairly. But here's where it gets even messier. Because multiple insiders claim that this isn't the first time Claressa's name has been floated in substance circles. Yes, it seems that rumors have followed her since her Olympic days, but now they've finally surfaced. A former U.S. boxing official, speaking anonymously to Boxing Behind the Curtain, stated she always had an edge, a second wind that came out of nowhere. We never had proof, but we had doubts. Now, those doubts have grown fangs and are biting hard. Meanwhile, Claressa's team has gone completely silent. No interviews, no press statements, just one cryptic tweet that read, "They can't stop what's destined. Watch what I do next." Powerful, perhaps, but also evasive and Papoose's posting. Inspirational quotes like its 2011 Tumblr, "Truth doesn't need a crowd to be real. Only the real understand silence, sir." Just say what happened, because at this point your silence is making you look very I've defended her for years. But now, I feel played if she cheated. She isn't the GW. She's just another Lance Armstrong with gloves, one fan remarked on Twitter, highlighting her culpability. And let's not overlook the fervent fan base. This isn't just about a few grams in a vial. It's about trust and legacy. Whether we've been rooting for a fighter or an illusion, and just when you think it can't get any deeper, it does. Another person said, and Papoose of all people to trust. She might as well have hired cyanide to manage her supplements, because there are currently rumors that someone, when the video first surfaced, most people thought it was a hoax. Another AI deepfake, or Reddit trolls' fever dream. However, then came the screenshots, timestamps, and the eerily accurate gym layout that matched Claressa's private facility in downtown Detroit. The worst part was that the silver vial she allegedly used just before sparring began matched up with something far more real. A compound that's currently, according to sources inside the gym. Claressa's amazing stamina spikes weren't the result of sheer hard work and divine intervention. One assistant coach, whose Instagram mysteriously went private after this story went viral, allegedly told a friend via direct message that she took the clear vial every third day, calling it her beast mode fuel. We're talking about TRZ-78, a recovery booster that was originally tested for racehorses and banned in cycling. It is now mysteriously appearing in elite human athletes who just so happen to never get tired. It's better, though, because two former nutritionists who say they briefly worked with Team Shields are now coming forward under anonymity to describe a bizarre powder regimen that includes unmarked capsules, mid-session nasal sprays, and something they only called the Rush. One of them told our source, "I don't know what was in it, but no normal human should be sparring like that." She went 12 rounds back-to-back with fresh opponents and didn't even breathe heavily. It was scary, scary. You know what's scary? The fact that Papoose allegedly knew a voice note. We can't confirm yet whether that voice is Papoose. But fans were quick to pull out past interviews and Instagram lives to match vocal tones. And let's just say that it's suspiciously similar. Where is Claressa in all this silence? However, Papoose has been stepping up his motivational monk routine. Every story he posts now consists of Bible quotes and slow zooms on boxing gloves. The voice was leaked online, and fans claim that it features his unmistakable tone. Whispering, "Don't tell anybody what she took. That's just for the cameras. We can't have her slipping before fight day." Several Twitter threads are now gathering. Clips from Claressa's previous fights showing strange bursts of energy in late rounds, clenched jaws, and aggressive breathing rhythms that match those seen in athletes caught using enhancement cycles. One user even posted a side-by-side video comparing Claressa's 2023 performance to a known banned fighter technique. And the similarities were unsettling, but that's not all in a bad way. 4 million views perfectly captures it, bro. If you're innocent, why are you posting psalms instead of proof? Deleted TikTok, a very familiar face that fans thought was a former assistant in Claressa's media team. Hinted at unethical performance boosters being part of her pre-fight rituals. The account was banned within 24 hours, which is a coincidence, because, as you may recall, it all allegedly began with a video of a bag in a hallway with a man wearing a hoodie who looked suspiciously like Papoose. Well, buckle up, because an entry under the name Shauna M. Papoose, time-stamped 3/26/A, only a few hours prior to the purported video. Why was fans are now speculating that Papoose, the former queen and ex-wife, who has remained remarkably silent since her name was dragged through the Papoose-Claressa affair scandal, may have been involved in the release of the footage, a classic revenge leak that disgraced both of them. One theory is that Papoose was at the gym alone in the middle of the night before a fight, handling the bag and moving materials out before the leak went viral. However, insiders say this whole thing may have been set up by someone who wanted the leak to happen. Swipe one unverified tweet purportedly from a burner account connected to Remy's cousins said, "Don't mess with loyalty." Sometimes karma just needs a USB cable. We don't know what that means, but it's iconic. To make matters worse, boxing promoters are reportedly backing out of their financial commitments to Claressa's upcoming fight. A representative from a major energy drink brand reportedly told a source, "We need distance until we see how deep this goes. Our name can't be tied to controversy." Meanwhile, Claressa's camp, or what's left of it, is in disarray. Her longtime cutman hasn't been spotted at the Boxing Federation's drug ethics committee. BFDC is reportedly looking into whether a sealed investigation file linked to Claressa was secretly buried 2 years ago, possibly because of her Olympic status and media influence. The file reportedly contained inconclusive yet alarming biomarker data translation. They suspected something was off but didn't want to ruin her rising star until now. The gym in days has seen her dietitian quit due to family emergencies. And one of her managers posted a quote that has the internet on high alert. "Not all champions are clean. Yikes." Not to mention that Claressa has frequently presented herself as an underdog fighter who climbed through the ranks and remained true to herself. However, that image is now dissolving faster than an iPhone dropped on concrete. And Papoose, well, let's just say that if he did assist in concealing something, his public loyalty image is done for a fan favorite for supporting Remy through jail and now helping his new girl allegedly cheat in the ring. The internet isn't forgiving because that one viral comment best captured it. He went from ride or die to lie and deny. And that's not even the worst of it, because the next part of this story may be the most shocking. As the internet was busy analyzing leaked footage that matched voice memos to Papoose and rewatching old fight clips like they were CSI, Boxing Edition, lawyers were already moving in. Sources close to the Boxing Federation's Ethics Committee confirmed early this morning that they've launched a formal investigation into the situation. However, what happens if the fight continues and Claressa is exposed? We're talking about potential disqualifications, title reversals, purse suspensions, and possibly even lawsuits from her opponent's team. Welcome back, everyone. BFDC isn't just sniffing around. They've already requested private medical records, trainer statements, and gym surveillance footage dating back more than 3 months. That's right, they're looking at Claressa Shields' entire training camp. And guess who else just got subpoenaed for questioning? Papoose. That's the same man who was allegedly seen carrying the duffel bag, the same man who was caught in the hallway clip, and the same investigation into her alleged use of TRZ-78. That recovery compound we told you about, which is prohibited in cycling, flagged by WADA, and previously linked to performance-enhancing regimens in China and Russia. We've gone from boxing gloves to court subpoenas in a flash. And social media is consuming this like it's a three-course dinner. Hashtags like hashtag LORESIGATE, hashtag PapCoverUp, and hashtag OughtMyGWAT have taken over Twitter, and verified athletes are joining. In one, former promoter told us, under condition of anonymity, that if they can prove he supplied anything or helped hide it, he's not just part of a scandal and could face serious legal repercussions. This sport, take away the titles if she did it. Furthermore, despite the uproar, Claressa's camp maintains that she is mentally focused and prepared to make history. One representative even told reporters, "This noise will die down. The champ will speak with her fists." Let's not forget about the fight itself. As of right now, the event is still scheduled to take place. Yeah, that's one way to avoid responsibility. However, if Claressa prevails and it is discovered that she used an illegal substance, her opponent's side may promptly file a no contest appeal. The money is already leaving the building, honey. Major sponsors have either paused their contracts, reconsidered their partnerships, or pulled out completely. One clothing brand sent out a soft shade statement saying, "We support clean, sport transparency, and long-term trust with our athletes." Translation. Another fitness supplement brand that had previously promoted her on Instagram removed all of her ads from their feed within hours of the leak. But the most ruthless was a major film studio that was allegedly early discussions with Claressa about a biopic based on her life have now been put on indefinite hold. The movie deal has been canceled, and the fanzo betrayal her, sharing their heartbreak on Reddit, AMAs, Instagram accounts, and deep Twitter spaces. One fan wrote, "I told my daughter she was the one to look up to. How do I explain this now?" Another added, "If this is real, she completely wrecked every speech she gave about hard work. I can't stop listening to her TED Talk right now." But it's not just Claressa who is on trial, it's Papoose as well. Because, let's be honest, how did we get here? This was a man who Remy Ma hasn't said much, but in a recent post, she only included a locked safe emoji and the words, "God sees what y'all hide." Fans immediately read between the lines. She knows, and she's watching. Let's not overlook the fact that some people now believe Remy may have been the one who leaked the footage in the first place. Remy Ma stood by her side through jail time, public cheating scandals, and the ugliest Bet Awards fallout of the decade. One fan tweeted, "Remy did more damage with a flash drive than she ever did with a diss track." Meanwhile, Papoose keeps acting as though nothing is going on, with no direct comments or denials, just moody black and white photos, gospel lyrics, and strange gym selfies with captions like, "The devil works overtime, but I keep working. Sir, please work on your public statement." At this point, the internet is divided between three camps: the believers, the ardent Claressa fans, and the ardent Claressa fans who believe this is Claressa and Papoose were part of a covert performance-enhancing ring, and this is just the beginning. Let's face it, all three sides have receipts and popcorn. What comes next? If the BFDC discovers actual evidence of illegal substances, Claressa could be suspended for a year. Her title could be revoked, and she could be disqualified from future matches until she is cleared. This is all part of a smear campaign to discredit a strong black woman in sports who betrayed fans who wanted to believe in her. Remy Ma might emerge from this twisted triangle as the only honest person. But perhaps the greatest harm isn't in the courtroom, but rather in the culture. Because Claressa Shields wasn't just a fighter. She was an icon, a symbol of grit, greatness, and overcoming adversity. However, if the drugs were real, if the footage is authentic, then what's left are asterisks, regret, and a generation asking, was it ever real? Before we roll credits, we want to hear from you. Do you believe Claressa used drugs? Is Papoose truly guilty of love? Remy Ma did leak this? Was she mistaken? Claressa wins in the ring? Would you still support her? This leak proves to be true? Please share your thoughts below and hit the like button to subscribe for more dark drama, leaked secrets, and fake news that seems more real than reality. This was the Celeb Tycoon.